Hello everyone and welcome to my Coronation Suite official today. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. What if I told you that on these familiar cobbles, absolutely no one can be trusted anymore? And the truth might be darker than anyone imagined. The drama unfolding right now is nothing short of explosive. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this storyline has completely taken over the show. Carl's shocking death didn't just come out of nowhere. It detonated like a bomb right in the middle of the community, sending shockwaves through every relationship, every conversation, every glance exchanged between characters. Suddenly, what used to feel like everyday life on the street has turned into something much more intense, almost suffocating, where suspicion hangs in the air and no one feels safe from judgment or doubt. What makes this even more gripping is the structure of it all. 6 suspects, one truth is the kind of classic mystery setup that instantly pulls you in. But this isn't just about solving a crime, it's about unraveling years of tension, buried secrets, and emotional wounds that never really healed. And the more the story progresses, the clearer it becomes that Carl wasn't just another character passing through. His presence left a mark on everyone, and now that he's gone, those marks are turning into scars that can't be ignored anymore. Let's really get into this, because there is so much happening beneath the surface that you almost have to slow down and take it all in piece by piece. Carl's death didn't just create a mystery, it exposed something much deeper. Every single suspect isn't just connected to him casually. They are tied to him through moments of conflict, resentment, and unresolved emotions that have been quietly building for a long time. And that's what makes this storyline so intense. You are not just watching a crime unfold, you are watching people unravel. Think about it. Each suspect is now under this invisible microscope, not just from the other characters, but from us as viewers. Every word they say feels loaded, every hesitation feels suspicious, even silence starts to feel like a confession. You catch yourself thinking, wait, why did they react like that? Or that didn't sound right. And suddenly you are not just watching the show, you are investigating it. What's even more fascinating is how the show uses the smallest details to keep you hooked. A glance that lasts a second too long, a defensive tone in an otherwise normal conversation, a moment where someone seems just a bit too calm. These are things that start to pile up, and before you know it, you are questioning everything. And honestly, imagine being in their position. Imagine knowing that someone you had a complicated history with is now dead, and you are one of the people being looked at. The pressure alone would be unbearable. You would be second guessing everything you say, every move you make. That kind of tension, you can feel it through the screen. Then there's the emotional side of it, which I think hits even harder, because this isn't just about who did it. It's about what pushes them to that point. And that's where things get messy. You start to realize that Carl wasn't exactly an easy person to deal with. He had conflicts, he had enemies, he had people who were hurt by him, frustrated with him, maybe even pushed to their limits because of him. So now you are stuck in this strange place as a viewer. Part of you wants justice, but another part of you is thinking, was this inevitable? Was this always going to happen eventually? And then comes the possibility that really changes everything. The idea that this might not have been a clean, premeditated act. What if it wasn't planned? What if it was a moment that spiraled out of control? A confrontation that went too far? That possibility adds a whole new layer. Because now it's not just about guilt. It's about responsibility. And let's be real, that's where things get uncomfortable. Because if multiple people played a role, even indirectly, then where do you draw the line? Who's truly to blame? As the episode continue, The cracks between the characters are becoming impossible to ignore. Relationships that once seemed solid are now fragile. Trust is breaking down. People are starting to question each other in ways they never have before. And it's not always loud or dramatic, it's subtle, quite almost chilling at times. You can see it in their faces, that moment where someone pauses just a little too long before answering a question, that flicker of fear when a certain topic comes up. It's those tiny human reactions that make this feel so real, so raw. And the way the story is unfolding, it's like every answer just lead to more questions. You think you are getting closer to the truth and then suddenly something doesn't add up. A detail contradicts another. A timeline fills off and just like that you are back at square one, questioning everything all over again. What this storyline is doing so brilliantly is turning the entire community into a pressure cooker. The impact of Carl's death isn't isolated. It's spreading, affecting everyone in different ways. Emotionally, psychologically, even socially, the dynamics between characters are shifting. And not in small ways. We are talking about changes that could redefine relationships for a long time. And the longer the mystery goes unresolved, the worse it gets. Suspicion grows, paranoia sets in. People start to protect themselves. Sometimes, at the expense of others, secrets that might have stayed buried are now at risk coming out. And once they do, there is no putting them back. There's also this growing sense that the truth, when it finally comes out, isn't going to be satisfying in a simple way. It's not going to be a clean, this person did it, case closed moment. It's going to be complicated, messy, maybe even heartbreaking. Because if the responsibility is shared, or if the death was the result of a chain reaction rather than a single action, then the consequences are going to hit differently. It won't just be about justice. It will be about dealing with guilt, regret, and the realization that things could have been different. And that kind of outcome that stays with you. I'm going to be honest, this storyline has completely pulled me in. It's not just entertaining, it's consuming. I find myself thinking about it even after the episode ends. Replaying scenes in my head trying to catch something I might have missed. And what I love most is that it doesn't treat the audience like we are just here to watch. It invites us in. It challenges us to think, to question, to doubt. One minute I'm convinced I have figured it out, and the next minute I'm like, nope, I was completely wrong. And let's talk about the emotional weight for a second. Because this isn't just clever storytelling. It's powerful, you feel the tension, you feel the fear, you feel the uncertainty, and that's not easy to pull off. If I had to say one thing, it's this: I don't think the truth is going to be what anyone expects, and I think when it finally comes out, it's going to hit hard. So now I want to hear from you. Who do you think is really responsible? Do you believe it was one person, or do you think multiple people played a part in what happened? And more importantly, do you think the truth will bring closure, or just create even more chaos? Drop your theories in the comments, because I know you have got them. And if you enjoyed breaking this down with me, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned because this story is far from over. And something tells me the biggest twist is still coming.